An email here. This is a really interesting email here because most people I know that have been sick and beat their illness had this epiphany when it came to life. Like the greens became greener. They started appreciating everything in their life a little bit more, right? I have never met anybody that came out of the other side of beating cancer and their view on life became darker. And this email is asking, is this common? I've just never heard of it before. So I'll give the phone number out again. This is interesting. 1-855-BERT Show. Guys, I had the strangest thing to ask you. Do you know anybody that got meaner after they beat cancer? I know this is a crazy question, and I'm trying to be empathetic and understanding because going through something like this must be exhausting and draining, she writes. But up until now, everybody I know that beat a life-threatening illness has come out of the other side with a more positive outlook on life. Would you guys agree that in your world?
Not everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go into detail about this person or anything, but I've definitely seen people who have gone through this, and there was some bitterness about the cards that they got dealt and that they had to deal with it and what they had to endure and what they had to go through.
While they were going through with it or when they finally came out of it, they had that. Really?
Yeah, both.
And then afterwards, when there's, extra efforts or physical therapy or anything like that, like some people are just like, what's the point? Like when this could just strike me down tomorrow, anytime, why would I put any more effort into this life?
1-855-BERT Show. She says, I have a cousin that's been fighting with cancer for a few years. He was always a little snarky and pessimistic, but in kind of a fun way. He's a sweetheart at the end of the day. But since he's been declared cancer-free, so he's done with all the protocols and everything now, she says he seems to be a different person. Bitter, angry, short-tempered, very opinionated, stubborn, won't spend any time listening to anybody else's views, says rude things to family members now that are blatantly mean. I can't possibly know what it's like to fight this fight, but is it common for someone to have a new lease on life and be a worse person? From Claire. 1-855-BERT Show.
It also kind of depends, too, the type of cancer and the treatments. And because certain cancer treatments and depending on what organ in the body that you're treating will alter a person's personality. And that's just...
Temporarily or permanently?
No. Yeah, permanently. Sometimes temporarily, sometimes permanently. And that's just how toxic some of these treatments are when it comes to cancer. So, and you also have to take into consideration the toll it takes on your mental health to go through something like that. So I would encourage this person to seek therapy to talk about these feelings and why they're feeling this way.
Dobby?
Yeah, and chemicals in the body, you just don't know. Like, everybody's going to respond differently. It's the same way, like, I can take a medication that makes everybody else less anxious and it makes me more and it makes me depressed. Like, everybody's different. So you don't know how radiation is going to affect somebody or anything. And it does a lot of trauma to the brain. But imagine, like, Bert, you went to Poland and you're seeing a war zone essentially, and you're seeing your perspective. And then you come home and somebody's like, I broke a nail. And you're like, shut up. These are not real problems. I was at death's door. Like, imagine going through years of cancer treatments and then you're at a family function and all of your nieces are just taking selfies and going, oh my God, I look so ugly in this, do it again. You know, and then you as an uncle are just like, shut up. None of this matters. And people take it as you're meaner now, but you're just like, none of this, it doesn't matter.
Super good point. Good morning, Native. You were on the Bert Show and on the Voice Disguiser.
Hey, yeah, I have two friends, one male, one female. Both of them battled with cancer and got through the remission, and both of them are absolutely miserable to be around and talk to. Especially the female is everything. She hates everything. Nothing is right. Nothing is good, to the point where people don't even want to be around her. My ex told me it's called chemo brain, to give them a pass because it could be all of the therapy they went through. But it's exhausting because you want to check on these people and spend time and bring joy to their life. And they're just like, blah. And it's like, it drains me because I'm an empath. So it's very hard for me. And then the female friend, her cancer just returned last week. So it's like, what do we do? and it's hard to deal with. So it is common because I was thinking that they should be all happy and cheery every day, and like life is great. I'm gonna explore the world and do everything I didn't do, but it's like, what for?
Yeah, and most are calling saying the exact same thing, and that cancer brain keeps coming up over and over and over again. Anybody that I have been so naive, because anybody that I have known that has gone through treatments in one way, shape, or form has kind of said the same thing. Like, you never want to say that I'm glad I had cancer, but I'm such a better person since I got over it. And I have never heard any of that. That's got to take a lot of patience.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched, you can get more of The Bert Show for free. Just listen to The Bert Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.